Survivor's ready. Go!
Travis spoken.
Boston Rob and Amber are gonna do it.
This is a business trip, as I like to say.
You, Brad Culpepper.
I'm tired of you and the fucking chicken.
You can call me the puppet master. They can be my little puppets.
It's not like you're making a deal with the devil here.
You get to milk your own milk, I guess.
Who the hell voted for me?
Chicken.
Damn! We got enough rocks here, too. We could build a pretty decent shelter just using rocks.
I'm supposed to talk Lima to you. You understand that better?
Direct from Hobart, it's time for the only Survivor podcast in Australia dedicated to Survivor, bringing you all the latest interviews, episodes, and opinions from the greatest reality show on the planet. It's Survivor Oz, and here's your host, Ben Waterworth.
Yes, hello everybody, and welcome once again to Survivor Oz, Australia's #1 TV and film podcast, and it is absolutely right. The host is Ben Waterworth. I am back. I am coming out of a semi-break right now to bring you a very special edition of the program as we head into another reality rally. It is only around the corner, and of course it's got extra special meaning this year because for the very first time, I'll speak grammatically correct, I'm travelling over to go to Reality Rally, and I am very, very excited to be able to not only represent Survivor Oz, but represent Australia as well, in one of the biggest reality events in the world, and hosted by a very good friend of ours, Gillian Larson, who we're about to get on the line to speak to. But I just wanted to quickly say, before we get into this, to everybody who sent me well wishes and sent all sorts of nice messages to me since I've been away from the show, thank you very much. It is obviously much appreciated. I think this might finally put rumours to rest that I am on Australian Survivor. I wish that was the case, but sadly I am not on Australian Survivor, for people who I think have tried to put two and two together and think that's why I've had to take a step back from the show over the last month or so. But no, that is sadly not the case. But I am very much appreciative to everybody who's contacted me and sent me well wishes, and I will say I will be back coming up probably within the next couple of months or so. And obviously from myself to our Ozlets and to everybody else who is keeping the show running while I'm away, really do appreciate their continuous efforts here on Survivor Oz, and I hope that you at home are listening and enjoying it still, and obviously remaining up to date with our episodes as well, because they're doing a fantastic job. And I look forward to returning to the show at some point in the future, and still doing, of course, some work right here with Reality Rally and heading over there as well. So with that aside, it's now time, I think, to get our first guest. Of course, we will hear a little bit later in this episode from the man who will be on Team Survivor Oz from Survivor Worlds Apart, Dan Foley. Be prepared for that interview, folks, because he obviously holds the record for the longest interview here in Survivor Oz. We're going to try and cap him a time limit. Whether or not that helps or not, we'll soon see. But our first guest on this show, you know her as the mother of Survivor Oz. She helped give birth, essentially, to this podcast that you listen to, and has remained a very dear friend of ours, close to 5 years now that we've been out there bringing you content and everything else in between. And she, of course, is also the mother of Reality Rally, which is held in Temecula in California, and can you believe it is less than 2 weeks away, of course, happening once again from the 7th to the 9th of April in Temecula in California in the United States of America. And I am very honoured to be going over there to check it out, be there in person, and not only compete in it in the actual event, but also bring you at home the interviews, photos, videos, everything else in between, and provide coverage of it. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I do, of course, speak of from Survivor Gabon and Reality Rally. Funnily enough, here she is, Miss Gillian Larson. Gillian, welcome back to Survivor Oz.
Well, thank you so much, Ben. I'm so excited. And you said, well, it's this time of year again. But this is more than this time of year again. This is that time of year again that you get to be with us. So I am super excited about that. I can't believe that, as you mentioned in many podcasts before, that this entire relationship sort of started with me just flicking you a little email saying, hey, if you ever want to interview a Survivor, because I know I would have wanted to have interviewed a Survivor, message me or contact me or something. And, this is what Reality Rally has been so much about. It's been about fundraising. It's been about awareness for Michelle's place. It's been about looking after your health and not taking one opinion for that's it, and going for another one if you're not comfortable. What it's been about as well is all of the relationships that we've formed, that people have formed, and the relationship that you and I and everybody, in cyberspace and listening space, whatever you call it, have formed around what you've done in the last 4 years. So hats off to you, mate. Yeah, I think it's awesome.
You're really working on that Australian accent very well. I think every time we talk, it comes across as a little bit better each time. But it's kind of strange to think that, doing this show now for it's going to be 5 years this year, and I know every year that we get you on to talk about Reality Rally, it's always like, oh yes, next year I'll come to Reality Rally. Yeah, next year, and it sort of seems to be every year we're saying that, but to kind of just think that this is actually going to be happening and that I'm going to be able to sort of meet you in person, meet all the other Survivor people and reality people, it's very, very exciting. And I mean, it's seems so much fun. I look at it every year and wish that I could be there, and to finally be there, it's so exciting. So, I mean, do I need to, I feel like now that we're so close to it, Gillian, and I'm preparing myself as best as I can, this is kind of the part now where I think this is the final sit down. This is the part where you've got to say, okay, Ben, have you got this? Have you got that? Have you done all this? Have you done all that? I mean, how prepared do I need to be here, Gillian? I think I'm prepared as best as I can be.
All you have to be prepared for is to have a lot of fun and to thoroughly enjoy the weekend, immersed in what I call a smorgasbord of reality stars. That's all you have to be, is just ready. Sleep up a little bit before you come out here, because it is a busy, busy weekend. Basically, obviously, you can scuttle away to your room and sleep if you want to. But otherwise, there's basically, let's see, the parties end at 1 in the morning, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have about 6.5 hours sleep maximum. That's if fine. You go to your room. Yeah, if you go to your room and not go hang out in somebody else's room and continue to party, which, as people might know, that I'm the grandmother of this group, and I'll be knocking on people's doors if they're disturbing the guests in the hotel. But otherwise, we may lose that wonderful sponsorship, which we have. It's a partial sponsorship, but they certainly have us back every year. But yeah, you're not going to get much sleep, mate.
Well, look, I'm used to it. I mean, I'm hosting this show from all hours of the morning, and I've had a bit of time off. Really, this is the first kind of episode I've hosted on Survivor Oz in some time. So I've been sort of getting slowly used to getting into some sleep patterns that I haven't had in a long time, and doing all this and doing all that. So I'm used to that. I'm ready to party. I'm ready to go along to all these different events, because there's, as always, heaps of things happening, of course, across the weekend. And a few new things as well that I see on the program. I mean, tell us what are the highlights that not only myself but people who are attending Reality Rally need to be looking out for this year.
Well, I'll just give a quick nutshell, and of course everybody says, yeah, right, Gillian has a nutshell. Well, my nutshell is enormous. It's bigger than a coconut. So on the Reality Rally weekend, first of all, people can refer to what I'm going to be saying on realityrally.com under the event, under weekend schedule. But we're kicking it off with all of the reality stars coming in on Thursday the 7th. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And please, if you're not a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram follower of ours, please do whatever you need to do to be a follower. Because I have a social media team that's going to be out just posting like crazy everywhere. So that is Thursday. And then Thursday evening, we're having the first Reality Rally lip sync showdown, public versus celebrity competition. We have 15 performances. 7, I think, are public. 8, 9, 10, whatever's left, 8 or whatever it is, of celebrity stars. So it is a mix of both public and celebrities, and it's going to be so cool. And we are live streaming it. So people all over the world will be able to see the first ever lip sync contest on our homepage, which is realityrally.com, and we will be live streaming it through there, which then continues on Saturday, the same live stream channel. We are using the state-of-the-art YouTube live streaming this year, so people will be able to see it through YouTube as well. However, it will be on our homepage. So that is going to be very cool and very fun. And then on Friday, the highlight for me is taking everybody to Michelle's Place. This is the charity that we do all of our funds for. We load everybody up in the buses and off we go to Michelle's Place. They get to meet the founders, the Watson family. They see the video of the founders and why they started this facility. And you know that in 15 years, they have provided over 100,000 services to people in need. Now, that to me, again, just gave me goosebumps. Their daughter was dying of cancer at 26, and she said, can you do something to support those that are struggling with cancer so that they don't have to face it alone? And to me, 100,000 services is more than can you do something. I mean, to me, that is it. So the stars get to meet the family, they see the facility, and then we put them back on the buses, take them to Wilson Creek Winery, which is such an awesome facility. And they have hosted us for the past 6 years. This will be the 6th year. And we have the red carpet. Everybody's going to be, you too, Ben.
Yes.
You're going to be on the red carpet, mate.
So am I walking the red carpet or am I doing the interviews? What am I doing on the red carpet?
Both. You're going to be walking it and then getting your picture taken. You'll be announced by me.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll be announcing you along with the reality stars and the other VIP pass holders. And then as soon as you've done with that, which in fact reminds me, I need to get you first on the lineup of the VIP so that you can hurry off and go do some interviews.
Fantastic.
And then you'll be doing interviews and you'll be doing those to send off back to your listeners in the world.
Yes.
So that'll be cool.
Yes.
And then we have music. Johnny Fox and the Satanettes are playing. The Great Oak Jazz Band is playing. There we have 14 different restaurants serving their food. It is $25 to enter all of this, except for purchasing wine, obviously, and the casino cash, which you have to buy. Tickets are on sale online right now. We close sale on the 3rd of April, so tickets will be for sale at the door for $30. So that is fun, and then the casino doors open, and we have great. We have 14 different tables of different games. But in addition to the normal casino prizes, which I have to say are pretty cool, we have 2, what we're calling high roller opportunity tickets. For a purchase of $10 for one and $25 for 3, which is nothing for the trips you're about to hear about. We have a 6-day, 6-night luxury safari lodge stay in South Africa with the Zulu Inyala Safari Group lodge. And the second one is Whitewater, Grand Canyon Whitewater rafting trip down the Colorado through the Grand Canyon. It's an 8-day trip.
Wow.
So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is that. And then there's the Amazing Race kind of game, which I know I've been keeping you in tenterhooks.
Mm-hmm.
It is racing through 14 different challenge checkpoints. And I'll tell you what, Ben, you better be ready because there's so many fun things going on there. And it's going to be so cool. You have no idea what you're in store for.
I'm doing my warm-ups. I've been doing my exercises. I'm just getting ready. So, try my best to maintain a level there that we don't completely make an absolute idiots of ourselves, but we'll see.
No. Wait a minute. I make you guys make idiots
Okay,
of
good.
yourselves.
Right, yes. All right, good.
Okay. So, how many opportunities do you have in your everyday that you can absolutely be an idiot? Well, probably can.
I don't know how many episodes of this show you've listened to, Gillian, but anyway, go on.
Yeah, there you go. What am I saying? Of course we do. But this is really being an idiot. So, it doesn't have to be a race because you're going to have to wait in the station for your turn. But people do inclined to run from place to place, which is fine one way or the other. But then you're going to do some very fun, silly things all over the place. And fun things. Just fun. I can't tell you any more other than spoil it for you. Okay. And it's cheap. So, after you've done 14 checkpoints, which is from 10 o'clock in the morning until 1:30, then everybody goes back to the hotels, goes and cleans up, and they come back for the festival, which is on Saturday afternoon. So from 4 to 6, the reality stars, and we have 109, by the way, coming from 40 different TV shows,
Wow.
are all lined up. The festival costs $10 to get in. 5 and under age group are free. And then everything included that you'll be hearing me say is in for that $10, except for a $3 commemorative program, which becomes your autograph book. So it's autograph signing with all these stars lined up. It is characters for children. It's Elsa and Anna and Pocahontas and Jasmine and a bunch of storybook characters. Then there are games for families and kids. There's a robotics school coming. There's the National Charity Leagues puts on about 6 different fun games. And then there's 7 different performances all on the steps of City Hall, starting out with the Temecula Youth Orchestra. So that's what you'll hear when you get off the bus as you're coming to get into the festival. And then from 7 to 9 is the Celebrity Chef Showcase. We have 14 different celebrity chefs from, oh, by the way, the reality stars that are coming, as I said, 40 different shows. However, they are Survivor, Amazing Race, Big Brother Canada, Hell's Kitchen, Chopped, Bar Rescue. Oh, you just look at the list. RealityRally.com, Reality Star lineup, and you'll see who's coming. And then from 7 to 9, it is the Celebrity Chef Showcase, where 14 chefs from 10 different cooking shows are in a culinary competition against each other and with each other for 2 hours until one team is crowned the winner. And then you all go off and party at the Palamesa after party. Palamesa Resort is putting on an after party on Friday evening at 10:30.
Fantastic.
After Wilson Creek. And again on Saturday after everybody gets back, whether you want to catch the first bus back or you want to go to Old Town and explore it a little bit and hit some of the bars and clubs there. Then we provide transport back to the hotel. So then there's an after party, and both of those after parties are actually free to the public, and they go until 1 in the morning. So that's it. That's my
Busy.
coconut.
I feel like I need sleep just listening to that. I can't imagine what it's going to be like next weekend. So
No, it's not next weekend. I've got one more week.
Yes, sorry. Yes, exactly. But I mean, as you mentioned, obviously, as always, we talk about in these episodes, all funds going towards Michelle's Place and the great work that they do. So, I mean, it's a lot of effort and work, I guess, in terms of what you're doing to make sure that this is all put together, and you've got a fantastic team behind you that helps all this put together. But, you know, at the end of the day, as you said, helping raise much needed funds, and, you know, that Friday visit that you're talking about, I mean, that just puts it all into perspective, really, for everything that you are actually doing all this for.
Absolutely. You know, people say, because, you know, another thing I want to point out is that it certainly is something that I started, but it would still be an idea in my head in the jungle of Gabon if it wasn't for the amazing volunteers that have come on to help. I have a major production team. The key players, they're about 25, and then we have 70 altogether in the production team, and you'll see them at the opening ceremonies. I bring them out to show everybody who puts this on, and again, we live stream the whole of Saturday. So anybody in Australia or anywhere else can be clicking onto our homepage, realityrally.com, and watching our live stream feed. Then we have about 400 volunteers throughout the weekend. And then, of course, there's the sponsors. We have something like 136 sponsors on board again. Of course, the reality stars who come. Of course, the public who come. The fans and the friends and the charity-minded people who come from all over the country. And I'm so excited. I keep telling everybody, we've got people coming from Australia, South Africa, and all over the States and Canada. Mm-hmm. And that's exciting to me. We now have 3 international countries represented, actually present at Reality Rally. So that's very cool.
Well, it's a big deal for that to happen too, because not only myself coming over, I know our former Oslet Linda, who has previously, of course, been to Reality Rally. She's coming back as well with her husband Steve. So it's going to be good to catch up with her and see all that, and all very exciting. And I'm just looking here quickly. I want to talk a little bit about our team in a second, Team Survivor Oz, but just for our Survivor listeners listeners out there, some of the Survivor contestants that, of course, we are going to be seeing here. We've got a few winners here, of course, Gillian. Of course, Bob, winner of your season in Gabon. Mike from Worlds Apart. Richard Hatch, the original, he's coming along. And some other, great people that are coming along. Kelly Wentworth's going to be there. Randy Bailey, this is a guy who, is the enigma that he's Randy. I'm so looking forward to meeting him and having a bit of a chat with him too for the show. Jimmy T, who was on Team Survivor Oz a couple of years ago. Christina Corrier, Dale Wentworth, and the one here that I've got to mention, of course, we're about to hear from him very shortly on this episode because he is on Team Survivor Oz. We're talking about Dan Foley from Survivor Worlds Apart. So myself and Dan, and we're going to fill up the team, of course, as we know in the coming days. But I'm so excited to be able to do this amazing race style event with Dan. And I don't know if you know, Gillian, but Dan holds the record on this show for the longest ever interview. We had a 4-hour interview with Dan. So when we get him on in a few moments to talk about Reality Rally, I don't know how long it's going to take, but something tells me we're going to have quite a bit of fun on this race on the Saturday morning.
Oh my gosh, you mean he talks longer than me? But yes, actually I know that. The first time I had him on a phone call last year, because he was begging to come to Reality Rally, but his season was still playing. And I said, Dan, it really is against contract for you to do that. However, if you get permission and CBS calls me themselves and says you've got permission, then come on down. But unless you get that, you really can't do it. You're jeopardizing yourself. And more importantly, which I hate to say, you're jeopardizing us. So he couldn't come, and so he is coming back. But that very first conversation, wow, that went on, I think, for 7 hours. No, I'm just kidding. It was a long chat. Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. Team Survivor Oz. And, we're going to... I think Linda and Richard and Jimmy T and Steve finished in about 32nd place last time. So we're aiming for the top 30 this year, Gillian. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, and you know what? I think we will hit the 80 teams that we anticipated this year. Right. Each year we've gone up by 10 teams. Okay. Because Old Town is a fun old town. It's like a historic old town, and it's very busy with tourists and people, and of course Reality Rally crazy people. So each year, last year, the year before, it was like 50. We went up to 68 last year, and this year we're going up. I think we're going to hit the 80. And as soon as we hit 80, so if anybody is planning on coming or is living in this area somewhat or still wants to come, we do close when we hit 80, because I don't know how 80 will be running all over Old Town. So we close if we hit 80, and we close, period, on April 1st. So we will not be able to take any teams beyond that. Well, there's a lot of done. All the details will be up on with this post and on the website, and same with where you can donate. Please donate to Team Survivor Oz. We're trying to push that to get to our target of $1,000. So please, people, any amount of money that you can donate helps. Be it $1 or $1,000 or I don't know $1 million if you've got it free. That would be fantastic. I'm sure Michelle's Place would much appreciate that. But yes, it's all on our website. If you're listening to this via iTunes, that's at survivoroz.com, and of course realityrally.com is where you can find out all the information, see who's coming along, see all the details, how you can get involved, and of course donate. Not just as a Team Survivor Oz, you can donate to multiple teams and multiple stars. Gillian, this is always fun getting you on every year, and it's got, of course, special meaning this year, considering that in only a few days, we can say that now, we get to do this in person, and I really hope that we can grab you at least for 5 minutes to get you on the microphone and the camera as well, so we can do something in person for our listeners at home to be able to watch. But I'm looking forward to it. Bring it on. Oh, me too. Bring it on. We're going. It's going to be here before you know it, Ben. And thank you so much for all the coverage you've ever done. And we really are looking forward to having you here, and looking forward to all of your listeners and your viewers watching you at Reality Rally 2016. That's pretty cool.
Hi, this is Gillian from Survivor Gabon and Reality Rally. We had the most amazing event last April, and we're doing it again in April, and there's something in it for you, for everybody. You can come and play a 4-hour amazing race game. 3 fun, enthusiastic people paired with a reality star. You can sponsor, donate, fundraise, volunteer, party, watch for free. There's something in it for everybody. Come on down, check it out, realityrally.com.
And we continue on with this very special episode of Survivor Oz. We've heard from the lady behind Reality Rally. Now it's time to hear from the man who is going to be joining me in a little under 2 weeks' time on what we like to call Team Survivor Oz. Now, we should mention, this is the second time that Team Survivor Oz has been represented at Reality Rally. Of course, Linda, when she was formerly in Oslet, represented us with her husband Steve, and they were joined on their team by, of course, the one, the only Richard Hatch and Jimmy T from Survivor Nicaragua. Now, I believe from memory they finished in about 32nd or 33rd place, which is fairly decent. And, of course, Linda's going to be there next weekend as well in a different team with different representatives. So I've got to carry on the mantle of Team Survivor Oz. And given that we're really pushing hard for a top 30 finish, as you heard me talk a little bit about with Gillian, I thought there's one person that could help us do that, and that, of course, is a man who, well, look, he holds a record on this show for the longest interview ever, just on 4 hours. And if he can extend an interview that long and keep it going and that exciting for that long, I think we've got every possibility of winning this Reality Rally and just dominating the absolute field, because no one will see us coming, and that's how I think our strategy is going to work out. I, of course, speak from Survivor Worlds Apart, Mr. Dan Foley. Dan, welcome back to Survivor Oz.
What do you say, brother? How you doing tonight?
Good, mate. Good. Yourself? Getting prepared now and excited for this event?
Getting super pumped, man. I have been eating donuts and Twinkies every day, trying to bulk up, get ready for this, because when I have to throw your ass on my back, baby, I am going to carry you over the finish line. Don't you worry about it. Yeah, it's happening.
I'm telling you now, if you can manage to carry me, then you're automatically a winner, because you're going to be doing well there.
Did you see the picture of me and Jimmy T?
No, I didn't.
It was up at Bob Crowley's event, the Durham Warriors Survival Challenge, and I have this affinity for when women come up and ask if they to take a picture with me, I'll always ask them, do you want a regular picture or do you want a fun picture? And some of them are timid. They'll say a regular picture, but a lot of them say, oh, I want a fun one. So then I'll grab them and pick them up like a bride.
Wow.
So I just kind of hold them in my arms, and it doesn't matter how big they are. I have never failed to pick up anybody.
All right.
So Jimmy T's busted my balls about it. And he goes, oh, look at you, big deal, big. Why don't you pick up somebody of because there was this, very lovely petite woman that I had picked up. And he goes, why don't you pick up somebody of substance? I'm like, oh, come on, man, give me a break. Put her there. And I put my hand out to shake his hand. And when I did, I grabbed him by the wrist and threw him up over my shoulder. I said, you going to talk now? And he's like, holy shit, put me down. He was shocked at how quickly I just threw him over my shoulder. And it actually surprised him. It caught him completely off guard, and there's a picture on my Facebook page from that.
All right, I got to look that up. Got to look that up, and the challenge has been thrown down then. So there we go.
That's right.
But it's going to be exciting because this is I've never done something like this before, I will admit, and obviously there's going to be lots of fun activities. We're going to be heading around Temecula for a couple of hours, doing a bunch of activities, a lot of fun. And, I think you and I are both kind of going into this not particularly knowing entirely what to expect. And I will say, for people out there wondering, well, how did Dan come about being on Team Survivor Oz? I requested Dan. So, Dan, basically, however we go, you can put down to me for choosing you or not. Because, we could work perfectly together, or we could end up hating each other. I don't know how it's going to work, to be honest.
Well, it was funny because Gillian had reached out to me and told me that I had been selected for a team. And I'm like, you're kidding me. I was shocked. I thought I was going to be in the loser category of people that were never chosen, and they just make like a hodgepodge, mishmash of leftovers, that nobody wanted on their team. And when they told me, and I'm like, who the hell was so stupid that they chose me to be on their team? And she goes, oh, it's the Australian team. I'm like, oh, fucking Ben. All right, that makes sense. Perfect. This will be awesome. I am psyched. This is going to be like when two horrifically ugly people have like this stunningly beautiful child. That's us.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen.
Yes, exactly.
It's going to be epic in every conceivable way.
I can see that completely perfectly, and that's exactly how I'm looking at it. And the beauty of this too, Dan, is that at the time of recording this, I will say I have absolutely no idea who's joining us on our team, because you've got to have 4 people on a team, and certain things have changed over the time that it's basically just you and I at the moment. So we're going to be given somebody else, and possibly even another reality/Survivor person to join us as well. So hey, we can't even completely work out strategy because we're only 50% of Survivor Oz right now.
Well, you know something? With my weight, I'd say we're 75%. So that's kind of nice.
Well, with my weight, that's 100%, so we're good.
Bingo. See, I didn't want to say that about you, but, thanks for jumping under the bus with me. So pretty much anybody else, it's like extra wheels. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to be like a 6-wheeler by the time we're done.
Yes. We'll just steamroll our way through everybody, just like push them out of the way. They just won't be able to, get out of the way in time, because here comes Team Survivor Oz. We're just going to run you over.
We're going to be hip checking. They're going to throw people on the boards. It's going to be full blown, full contact reality rally as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
That's what they get when they mess with us.
I'm going for it. That's exactly how I think that we should look at it, because look, a win. Look, I'm not going to lie. I want it. I want to be able to come over there and be like, Team Australia for the win. We've taken out Reality Rally. Like, we took the America's Cup away from you guys in the 80s. We've beaten you in basketball, never. So, like, this is like the time when I can be like, hey, Australia can stand up to America and win something. The biggest win for Australia against America since the America's Cup in the 80s.
Would be the Reality Rally. And if that's the case, dude, I'm just going to claim that I'm Irish. So it's going to be the Australian-European connection, took down all those American softies. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
That could be awesome.
Yes, exactly. And look, even if we don't win, top 30 I think is doable. Now, I mean, I've sort of seen highlights of some of the challenges that they've had in previous reality rallies, and it's more Amazing Race style than, of course, Survivor style. I mean, what sort of things should I be looking out for, Dan? So if we get to a checkpoint and there's a challenge, I mean, what are some of your strengths that I should be like, okay, Dan, this is you go for it, man, this is your challenge?
Okay, so I'm sure that people are going to give me a hard time about this, but in spite of my slide puzzle epic failure, I'm actually quite good at puzzles overall.
Okay.
That slide, something, out of everything that happened on the show, that will haunt me. That slide puzzle to this day still haunts me. I actually had a slide puzzle app on my phone. I was a king at slide puzzles. I was so pissed when I blew that. But normally I'm very good at puzzles. I'm very good at like the logic-based problems.
Okay.
So that's definitely one of my strengths. If it comes to very quick reading, my eyes falter. So I'm not good at that.
Right.
So if there's like something very large to read, it's not going to be my thing. Because I cannot read very quickly. So I definitely don't want to go, trotting from challenge to challenge with glasses around my neck. It's just not going to go well.
I've got to remember these things. We're just trying to sort of, pre-event meeting, essentially, this is, Dan, and everybody can listen into it. So
balance, juggling, things like, did you see last week's episode of Survivor?
I did, yes.
They had to build that very tall balancing thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That I actually do that at the dinner table.
Right.
I'll take like all kinds of random things that are on the table and I just stack them. And it drives my wife crazy because I'll grab wine glasses and I'll put a plate on it, and then I'll put a bottle on top of that, and then I'll put another plate, and then I'll put I'll put the sugar bowl and then the salt shaker, and then I've got this tower of just crap that was on the table. And I have never once dropped anything. I've never once made a tower fall.
Wow. Okay. So we're hoping for a stacking challenge so that we can easily take that one out. Okay. Got it.
Awesome.
Mental notes here, Dad. Mental notes. I'm just trying to strategize and get into this and go for it. And I'm hoping, again, whoever joins us on the team, hopefully they've listened to this episode. They've gone, hey, I'm on Team Survivor Oz. I'll listen to their special reality rally preview episode, and they will be in our heads right now thinking about how they can do this with us.
So now what are your strengths? Where do you shine?
If there's something to do with talking and bullshitting my way through something, I'll take that on board.
Nice. I was going to say, I could do that one, so that's okay.
Yep. Let's see. I'm fairly decent when it comes to the sort of, you mentioning the reading, kind of like, if there's like a word search or something like that, I'm fairly good at kind of picking out words, sort of trivia clues and sort of, what's a word I'm trying to say here? I can't think of the word, but like anything that's relating to kind of having to solve problems, I guess I could quickly try and make my way through it. But, I'm just hoping there's an interviewing challenging person. A word puzzle. Yes, I'm down for that. Yes, absolutely.
All yours.
Yes.
All yours.
Done.
I suck at word puzzles. Seriously, I'm horrible. I mean, you saw, well, all of us were. You saw that puzzle challenge during my season. It was me, Sierra, and Rodney versus Will, Carolyn, and Mike. And they said it was the longest word challenge in the history of the game.
Yep.
We were pathetic. It was embarrassing. We were so bad.
Yep.
Well, if
that's
there's
mine.
a word puzzle,
I'll take it.
All yours. If there's a Sudoku, I got it.
Yeah. Oh no, you can have that. I'm not. I don't even understand. I can't even say the word, let alone understand what the hell you've actually got to freaking do on the damn thing. So that's all yours.
If there's a Sudoku puzzle, dude, I'm all yours. I'm your man.
Good. All right. And it's going to be interesting, actually, I guess, with our team. Like, at the end of the day, not only are we trying to do this for Australia, but we've got to try and get you ahead of all the other Worlds Apart of people out there too, Dan. I mean, we've got to have you beating the likes of Carolyn and Mike. And, well, I mean, you did beat Nina technically in the game. But look, hey, another win's a win. So as long as we can also get you ahead of Mike and Carolyn, I mean, that's also a win as well.
As far as I'm concerned, that's completely true.
We'll push for it.
Absolutely.
We'll push for it. But in all seriousness, I mean, obviously Reality Rally, it's a great event. It's raising lots of great money for Michelle's place. I mean, when you've sort of had that tap on the shoulder to say, hey, can I come? And Gillian mentioned early on actually in this episode that you were keen to come last year, but obviously couldn't because the show was still airing at this time last year. So, I mean, this is something that clearly you're very passionate about. You've wanted to come to this before. Actually,
just the opposite. I didn't even know. I mean, I'd heard of it. I didn't know what it was. And I didn't look into it. Gillian called me and said that I had corporate sponsorship. I could have gone completely free last year and somebody was going to sponsor me because they wanted me there.
Wow.
And I asked for permission and they're like, nope, sorry. And I'm like, you've let other people go in the past. You let Philip Shepard go during his season one time.
Yep.
And there's been other people they've allowed and they're like, no, we're not letting you go.
Wow.
So when she reached out again to me this year to invite me, and obviously I was very excited, really enthusiastic about it, and so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to the good time. I've never been to any of these, not Give Kids the World, not Reality for Diabetes. I've never been to any of these events before, so I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to geeking out with a bunch of Survivor fans because I mean at the end of the day I'm still a fan.
Yeah.
I'm still a fan of the show. The only difference is I was lucky enough that I was allowed to play, but I'm still a fan of the show, and it's cool to hang out with other people, other like-minded people, no matter what the topic.
Well, you and I are both going to be losing our reality event virginity then, I guess, because I've never been to one of these either. And, I mean, it's a pretty good bunch of Survivor people, as we kind of touched on before with Gillian. I mean, there's 16 Survivor contestants coming along, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And my biggest issue that I'm going to have to admit that I to be honest, out of all the other reality shows that are represented here, I've seen, I think a season and a bit of The Amazing Race, and the season that I watched, none of them are coming. So, I'm going to be going up to these people and they're going to be like, hey, how you going? Expecting me to be like, you're from Big Brother, but I have no idea who you are.
Yeah, you've I hate to say it, but you have more experience than me. I don't know if I've ever watched a full episode of The Amazing Race. I don't watch TV.
Right.
Amazing. I've never seen a single second of Big Brother. I think I've seen literally one episode of Amazing Race. I think that they bring a lot of reality show cooking people. So like Chopped and some of those other, I guess a lot of those people are there. I'm with you, dude. I won't know any of them.
Let's just go up to everybody. I'm just going to assume everybody that I meet was on reality TV. So I'm going to be like, hey, you were great on that show you were on. I hope they have a name tag that says Big Brother. Oh, you were great on Big Brother.
Oh my God, that'll be hysterical.
And I'm going to meet like the most
actually
average person who's like not on anything. And I wasn't on a show. Oh, awkward. Sorry. Moving on.
Oh yeah, you and I, dude, are going to be so screwed when it comes to that. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so epically bad. It's going to be beautiful.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. I mean, okay, now that the season's over and my life is mostly back to normal, I have people that come up to me and they're like, "You look familiar. Were you on Big Brother?" I'm like, "Go fuck yourself. I was not on Big Brother." All right. Jesus. My favorite thing though, and I have to admit I'm a very bad person. I had this older couple, late 50s, maybe early 60s, come up to me, and the woman just looks at me and she goes, "I'm so sorry. You look so familiar." And I just kind of smiled. My wife and I were having dinner, and I said, "Yeah, I get that a lot." And she goes, "Where do I know you from?" And I said, and I couldn't resist. I couldn't help myself. I looked at her and I said, "You must watch a lot of porn." And I thought her husband was going to pass out. He started to laugh so hard. But it was, and I don't even know what possessed me to do it. It just kind of came to me on a whim. And the best part was she stopped and leaned forward and just stared at me very intently, like she was just drinking in my face to place me. And she looked for a couple seconds and she went, "No." And all I could think to myself is, holy shit, this woman's going to the bank to see if I really was in porn. That was far and away my favorite one so far.
That's amazing. That's good. That's something that you need to do often, just to absolutely embarrass people.
I'm just going to burn in hell. That's all there is to it. That's just...
Oh, be careful now, Dan. Be careful. You know, we'll have to air the unedited footage of this to show you what really happened with this conversation. So,
oh, nice. Go ahead, dig in a little deeper, my friend. Just dig that knife in.
Oh, well, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really going to be looking forward to it. And of course, people, not only can they donate to Team Survivor Oz, but they can, of course, donate direct to Dan as well via realityrally.com. How are you going for donations right now? How are you pushing? Do you know what you're at the moment?
Oh, I'm way beyond the required amount. And that doesn't mean there isn't room to give. There's always room to give to, you know, this really noble cause. Michelle's Place is just a wonderful organization, and you know, Gillian's just incredible for putting all of this together, and you know, bringing fans and bringing, you know, people that have been on these shows, bringing them all together. And I'm psyched. I'm so excited to do this, and you know, and it's a really noble thing, and I'm just so thrilled to be a part of it.
Well, I'm just looking here, actually. 570 at the time of recording this. We've got 140, so that brings us to $710. So we're aiming to get to 1,000. So if you combine those totals with Teen Survivor Oz, then we're only about $290 away from reaching our goal. So still got a week and a half at time of recording this to get to. I think that's easily doable. So people at home, please keep donating to our Teen Survivor Oz, to Dan's page. And because as obviously Dan's saying, it's all for such a great cause, and I think we can easily get to the $1,000.
Hell yeah, absolutely. We should be able to get to that. You got 2 weeks left, folks. You know, make it count.
Do it. Exactly. Dan, it's been a lot of fun. Always a lot of fun having you on the show. I'm absolutely thrilled that we've been able to do this in less than 4 hours, but we're going to have lots more than 4 hours worth of fun next weekend at Reality Rally, mate. So thank you for joining us, and look forward to seeing you in person then.
I can't wait to shake your hand, my friend.
And there we go. Dan Foley, Survivor Worlds Apart, Team Survivor Oz member for Reality Rally 2016. Less than 2 weeks away. It's pretty much 10 days away now, if you want to say that. Even really less than that. But so exciting that it's going to be happening, and we thank you very much for your company in this special episode of Survivor Oz. And again, as we've mentioned throughout this episode, donate, donate, donate. Head to realityrally.com. You can find us under the 2016 team lineup on the drop-down menu at the top, or of course you can separately donate to Dan as well. You can donate to Gillian as well. Gillian also has her own fundraiser. All goes to the same place, and help us get to $1,000 for Teen Survivor Oz. We also will have the link, of course, on our website. So if you have discovered this episode via iTunes or another podcasting service, please head to survivoroz.com. You'll find it on there, and in the top right-hand page, top right-hand part of the page, you will find a link there to Teen Survivor Oz where you can also donate. Every cent counts, people. From $1 to $1 million, you can donate, and it will help out a very worthy cause, the great work that they do at Michelle's Place. But stay tuned here to Survivor Oz, because throughout the weekend, we will be recording interviews and video footage and putting up photos and uploading them whenever we can. So please stay tuned to the website. It's going to be a lot of fun getting that up there. We're hoping to grab each of the 16 Survivor contestants that are there, even if it's for a 1 or 2 minute chat on microphone as well as camera. We'll see how we go with that. And of course, we will be filming as much of the events that we can be doing and just providing you as much coverage as we can do across that weekend. And it's not just Reality Rally. Of course, as I mentioned at the top of this episode, the Ozlets are doing a fantastic job keeping this ship running. We have episode recaps. We do, of course, have the Oztopsy, the Ozlet episodes, power rankings on the website. Things are doing fantastic on there, so please check it out, the great work that they are doing. Some people have been asking what's been happening with Survivor contestant recaps. We are still striving to do them. Obviously, the Ozlets are trying to get people on as best as they can, and just need to stay tuned there and see who we have on when we have them on there too. So SurvivorOz.com, subscribe to us on iTunes, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and just stay up to date with everything to do with Survivor Oz. It's been a lot of fun being back here, folks. Thanks very much. I look forward to bringing you coverage of Reality Rally, as well as returning back here to your speakers in a couple of months' time. In the meantime, my name is Ben, the Tribe Spoke, and we'll speak to you next time on The Trains.